Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit new for me. I've never really put my face on YouTube before, but I'm gonna try something new, a little more of like a vlog style video for 2021. Happy New Year, by the way. I know we're 2 months in. I've been pretty busy so far this year, just kind of getting into some new routines, trying out some new things. Been reading a little bit. I joined a book club, and part of my sort of plan for 2021 is to consume less and create more. And so that's part of what these videos are going to be about. And in that vein, I have decided to get back to film photography. It's something that I was really passionate about. I went to school for film photography many years ago, long time ago. And I took about a 10-year break from shooting film, at least shooting film seriously. It's been a long time. And so I want to do a series of videos on that process, what it looks like for me, some of the equipment I'm using, some of the cameras and films that I'm finding really unique and interesting. And then I've actually got some projects in the works. One of them being a website dedicated to film photography that I started with my best friend, just kind of documenting our adventures in film. So I'm gonna kick this off with a little bit of a product review. It's what I normally do on YouTube. So I figured why not kick it off with a product review, and maybe I'll circle back here in a couple of weeks with another video just talking a little bit more about what my ambitions are for 2021 and moving forward. But to start this off, we are going to be talking about this little guy right here, not the camera, talking about the meter right here on top. This is the V-201X. You can pick these up on eBay fairly inexpensively. And so I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to talk about this, and I'll tell you what I like, and I'll show you some images that I've made using this meter, so maybe you can see how it would help you in your analog photography endeavors. Stay tuned. Let's take a closer look at the V201X light meter. I picked this up off eBay. I actually found a US seller. Most of these come from China, but I found a US based seller that got it to me in just a couple of days. It only cost me a couple dollars more. So to me, it was worth the extra couple bucks to get it a little bit faster. But you know, most of these are coming from China. So if you do order from China, just know it's going to take some time, depending on how crazy USPS is. It's a little hit or miss here these days with all the COVID stuff going on. But I did find a US seller. This is the black aluminum version. It also comes in silver aluminum. I've seen a red aluminum version, and then I've seen a black, what appears to be maybe 3D printed version. I just thought the black aluminum was really nice and that it would match my cameras a little bit better, specifically the GW690II, which this is sitting on right now. And they range in price. I've seen them anywhere from like $42 or $48, $46 or $48, all the way up to about $69. So I'll put a link to exactly where I bought mine from eBay. I don't have any affiliation with that seller, but I had a really good experience with them. They got it out super quick. It came from California. I had it in like 3 or 4 days. So really can't complain about that. So I'm going to pull it. Actually, before we do that, you can see it is just super tiny. I mean, this is a huge camera anyway. So probably like a pretty terrible way to compare it, because it is a massive camera. So anything's going to be small on here, but it does slide right into the shoe there, and you'll see the bottom is plastic. Everything else is aluminum. But it is a plastic, and this appears to be 3D printed, at least to me. And so, you know, probably not the most durable thing out there, but 3D printed stuff tends to be pretty robust. I think if you take good care of this, you don't knock it about too much, it's probably going to hold up just fine. I leave it on the shoe of my camera when I'm out shooting, and then if I'm going to put the camera away or drop it in a bag, I remove it and slip it down in a pocket, just so that it's not, you know, getting tugged on or twisted, because, you know, this is plastic on the bottom. I would have liked to have seen this done in aluminum as well, or at least a replaceable foot on this thing. You know, you could probably figure out a way to replace that foot if you had to, but I'm hoping I don't ever have to. Just taking a quick look around this, you'll see you've got a little like actuator, little button thing on this side, kind of a control wheel. And then on this side, you've got an on-off switch and a USB-C charging port. That's one of the things I really liked about this, is that it is rechargeable. And I charged it up when I first got it, and the battery hasn't dropped even 1 bar. So I would assume this thing will last a really long time. It also has an auto shut off. It turns off after just a few seconds of non-use. So that's kind of really nice, and it preserves the battery. And because it doesn't use that much power, you know, if you're out in the field, you can kind of charge this off of a backup battery pack or in your car in between locations or whatever. Take a little break, charge it up, and be good to go. So here we'll flip it on. And you'll see here, it's just got a little OLED display. It's really readable even at kind of odd angles. You can kind of read it no matter what angle you're at. And during the day, I found it to be really easy to read. And then at night, it's easy to read as well. So if we kind of block this off, you'll see it's definitely easy to read. Really simple user interface. So just on off over here. If you push and hold this, it goes over to S, which is your ISO, your film speed. And it goes from 6 all the way to 6400. So plenty of choices there. And then if you push this again, it takes you back over. This is basically aperture priority mode. So you can just set your aperture, or if you push it one more time, you can set your shutter speed, and it will tell you kind of what aperture you should use for that given shutter speed. So it's really, really simple. One of the things that I really like about this little meter is, you know, you can do aperture priority or shutter priority. I find that aperture priority works really well, especially with the little GW690II that I'm using, because I can set it to, you know, 5.6. And on this camera, it's kind of a pain to change the aperture and shutter speed anyway. So I tend to leave one alone and then just change the other accordingly. So whenever you point this, it gives you an updated reading as you point it at different light sources. So I really like that because you can kind of point it around your scene if you're in sort of a weird area and get a little bit of an average. You can kind of look at it and say, you know, oh, it's 1/8 of a second there, it's, you know, 1/15 of a second up there, and kind of average the two out, find something that's pretty close. And then down here you have an EV, exposure value. Those are pretty complicated to use, so I don't mess with those too much, especially with something as simple as this, with this constant readout. And then, you know, there it goes to sleep. So if you push this little button, it'll wake it back up. So that's really all there is to it. I'm going to pop a few images up on the screen that I've taken with this. I took this out and I shot with it at night. I've shot with it during the day and at night, black and white and color. And it did a really, really good job. It metered the scenes really well, gave me really good, consistent results, and I actually got better results out of this than I did using a handheld meter and walking up to subjects, especially nighttime. Nighttime is always a little bit tricky. So I used this with the GW690II along with some of this really great Ilford Ortho Plus 80, and then also some CineStill 800T that I rated at ISO 400, and it did a really, really good job. I was really happy with the results. I'm going to pop some of those up and wrap up this video. So if you guys found this helpful, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. Also, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I'm going to be bringing some more photography related videos to the channel soon. And I don't know, if you guys like this stuff, maybe we'll do a dedicated channel at some point. So again, V-201 light meter. I'll put a link in the description below to where I got mine. You can pick one up and use it for your analog photo needs. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.